G'day guys, I'm Chris Dawn. How you guys all keeping? Hey, I'm just stopped off on the way back home from doing my groceries at a beautiful little wee creek mouth, and I thought I'd have a quick chat about how I fish our local stream mouths flowing into the major southern lakes. So, as you can probably see today, there actually isn't a lot of flow pushing out through there, so there's not a lot to concentrate the fish. So they're going to be spread out a bit more, you know, a bit further along the drop off in this direction here, and in the other direction there. So I'm probably going to search with maybe a DI3 because the lake isn't the highest at the moment, and I just want to get down beneath the surface chop to keep in contact with my flies. Now, the lake's usually pretty clear, gin clear in fact, in Lake Wakatipu, as are most of our southern lakes. And so I don't tend to go too big or too flashy. The biggest I generally would fish would be a size 8 woolly bugger at times, but in calm conditions or calmer conditions, I'd use a team of small wets, little size 12s or 14s, 2 or 3 of them with a weighted one on the end, pitching it out, letting it sink and stripping them back through. Now, that would be probably my attack today if I was fishing. I would start off probably down the other end of the beach here and slowly just work my way along, casting 45 degrees along the beach. Now, there's a reason why I cast along the beach rather than directly out and strip it back. Now, trout generally cruise along the lakeshore, right? You know, so what I'm doing is if I cast straight out off the beach and strip it back, then I might only encounter those fish once with my fly. Whereas if I'm casting at a diagonal along the beach and stripping my flies back, then they've got more time to be seen by fish cruising in a similar direction, as well as being pulled in to check things out. Now, step one, if I was fishing the creek mouth with a bit more flow, I would start off by moving in from the side, not wading straight into it, and starting to cast short, pitching just out off the beach, stripping it back. Angle it a bit further out, strip it back, angle a bit further out, strip it back, until ultimately I'm fishing out over the drop-off. That's when I would walk over to the creek mouth and start working my way down the rip. Generally these fish are going to be sitting deep, so I'd probably be using a DI5 or maybe a DI7 line here. My approach would be to first cast out, maybe count to 10 to let it sink, and then strip it back. My next cast would be casting out, maybe counting to 15 to allow my line to get my flies to slightly deeper deeper level and strip that back. And eventually continue counting down until you start getting those hits. If I feel I've covered that water, I would change my flies. I would simply go to something different. If I'm using a combination of an olive woolly bugger and a brown woolly bugger, let's maybe change it to something with a little bit bright up top and just go to something a bit darker down the bottom, or vice versa. The key is to cover water as mentioned, and you usually know within the first 10 minutes if the fish are off these creek mouths. If you don't hit them, move elsewhere. In winter, these fish will move around in pods, constantly cruising big bays. You know, it could be the Kingston Arm. So if you're not hitting them in this location, head around to that location, fish there again. And again, usually it doesn't take too long to know if the fish are there or not. I'm Chris Daw, and here's another, well, quickish stillwater tip. Take care guys, stay safe, bye.